Welcome to my Idaho cabin, where the elk and deer run free. Welcome to my Idaho cabin. Hope you spend a little time with me.
Well, hi everybody. Thanks for joining me. Today I'm going to do a crock-pot pot roast, but this one's going to be a little different. The gravy that this one makes is just super good. And if you like pot roast, mashed potatoes, and gravy, you're going to want to watch this video. So thanks for visiting me on this episode of My Idaho Cabin, and I hope you enjoy this. So here's the ingredients. A nice chuck roast, garlic, salt, and pepper. That's it. We're going to season that roast on all sides, and then we're going to sear it. So we're going to put a little salt and pepper on both sides and garlic powder. Just like that. Pat it in. Then we'll do the other side. Okay, now we'll go get the cast iron skillet ready. Okay, now I'm going to put a little oil in the bottom of this pan, the skillet, cast iron skillet, and let that heat up. And when it's all nice and hot, we'll put the roast in there and we'll brown it on all sides. Alright, it should be hot now. Now the easy way to do this is to do the edges first. And then we'll do top and the bottom. So when that's done, I'll bring you back. Okay, the roast is nicely seared on all sides. Now this is kind of an optional step, but I find that it really imparts more flavor to the roast. So now I'm going to take this out, put it on a plate, and I'm going to add a little bit more oil to the bottom here. And now I've taken an onion, and I've sliced it in half and then cut it into slices. So we'll throw those in there. And I'm going to saute these up a little bit until they get just a little bit soft. And then I'm going to add some carrots. Turn the heat down just a little. All those beautiful brown bits down on the bottom, the fond, we're going to bring that up in just a little bit and make it into our sauce, because those are full of flavor and you don't want to mess with them. Okay. Now I had a bag of baby carrots and I just cut them in half. So we'll throw those in there. Stir them around. Let them cook for just a little while and I'll be right back. Okay, now I'm going to put a couple of tablespoons, about 3 tablespoons of flour in here. That'll thicken up the gravy a little bit and make it nice. So now we'll cook this flour a little bit so it you don't have the raw flour taste. We just stir it around in here a little bit. And then we'll start adding the liquids to get it up to get the fond off the bottom. All right, that's pretty well mixed in. Now I'm going to add 2 cups of red wine. We'll stir and we'll scrape the bottom. Those bits on the bottom will come up and get into the gravy. So stir it around, mix all these veggies in there nicely, and we're going to let these simmer for probably 5-10 minutes, something like that, and then we'll be through. Turn the heat up just a little bit to medium-high and let them play in there and get happy. Now that the broth is simmering nicely, we're ready to put it in the crock pot. Oops. You might want to do it a little more carefully than I did. We'll get that off of there. Clean that off. Okay, now we put the roast on top of that. And be sure to pour in any juices that have accumulated. Okay. See if I can show you. It's nesting nicely in there. Now we'll add some broth to bring the level of the liquid up just under the top of the pot roast. And you can use anything you want. I happen to have some chicken broth here, but you can use beef broth or water if you want. But you want to get that level up. Good use for a can of or a box of chicken broth. The final touch before putting the lid on is to add some fresh thyme and some fresh rosemary. So we'll drop those in there and let them do their magic. The top goes on, and we walk away and take care of the chores of the day. So after about 8 hours in the slow cooker on low, this is what you end up with. Sure looks good. Well, thank you for joining me in this episode of My Idaho Cabin. I really appreciate your stopping by, and I hope you enjoyed the video. The pot roast we made was just absolutely delicious. And the gravy, oh my God, that was something else. So really you need to, with this one, if you make a pot roast, by all means, throw a couple of potatoes, chop them up, throw them in a pot of boiling water, a little salt helps, and garlic, of course. But it really makes a great side dish to a pot roast, and with the vegetables, just absolutely fantastic. And with the crock pot, you really save time. You just throw it in the morning, takes you probably 15 minutes to prep. Most of that is just cutting up the cutting up the vegetables and sautéing them. I'm babysitting a little puppy, and that little shaking was he was bumping against the tripod. But forgive her. Forget him. He's just or forgive him. He's just a little puppy. So anyway, it gets into a little trouble too. Anyway, thank you for joining me again at My Idaho Cabin. Remember the recipe. Let's see if I can get this right. The recipe is right down here. Is that the right side? Anyway, and the like-dislike button is over here. And please leave me a comment or two. I really enjoy reading your comments, and I hope you enjoy these recipes. I have fun preparing them, and just about everything that I make is good old standard stuff. Occasionally I'll get something a little on the exotic side, but for the most part it's good comfort food. And so I hope you enjoy them this winter, and visit whenever you can. Again, this is Rick, and this is My Idaho Cabin. Thanks for joining me.
Welcome to my Idaho cabin, where the elk and deer run free. Welcome to my Idaho cabin. Thanks for spending time with me.